Hello everyone, I'm Frances and I work for Somerset Libraries. Today I'm going to tell you about Annie and Angelina. A name is important, so their names both start with a big A. Here's Annie's name, A for Annie. And here's Angelina's name, A for Angelina. Try saying them. Can you say Annie, 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 and Angelina, Angelina, Angelina? Can you hear the ah sound? Can you think of some other names which start with a big A and have an ah sound? How about these? You have to open your mouth wide to say ah words. Try saying Annie with your mouth shut. You can't do it, can you? You have to open your mouth wide. Here are the names I've thought of. Alex, Alex, Andy, Andy, Amelia, Amelia, Abigail, Abigail, Anthony, Anthony, Alice, Alice, Adam, Adam. I expect you can think of lots more, and I'm sure you've got friends whose names start with an ah sound. The names of places start with a big letter too, because they're very important as well. Here are some names of places you might have heard of. America, America, Africa, Africa, Axbridge, Axbridge. That's a town in Somerset. Now, a thing is not as important as a name. Here are two ordinary words, and because they're ordinary words, they start with a small a. So that's what a small a looks like. And here we've got a for apple and a for ant. Can you say those? A for apple and a for ant. I expect you can think of lots more words, ordinary words, which start with a. I've thought of arrow, arrow, alligator, alligator, anchor, anchor, alarm, alarm as an alarm clock, album, album, and address, address, not address you put on, but where somebody lives, your address, address. Right. And you can't say any of those things with your mouth shut. You have to open your mouth wide. Now, I'm going to tell you about Annie and Angelina. Well, Annie had a big bowl of delicious apples. They look good, don't they? Angelina Ant saw Annie's apples, and Angelina Ant hadn't had her lunch yet. Oh, here's Angelina Ant. Can you make an ant with your fingers and make it scurry about? Oh, and here she is looking at the apples. Oh, goodness. Can you guess what happened Angelina Ant ate one of Annie's apples without asking. In fact, it was atrocious. Angelina Ant ate one of Annie's apples every afternoon when Annie wasn't looking. Well, I hope you've never eaten one of somebody's apples without asking. Goodness me. It's quite difficult to say, actually. I wonder if you can say it. It was atrocious. Angelina Ant ate one of Annie's apples every afternoon. Shall we say it again? It was atrocious. Angelina Ant ate one of Annie's apples every afternoon. Can you say it in a big voice? It was atrocious. Angelina Ant ate one of Annie's apples every afternoon. And a little voice? It was atrocious. Angelina Ant ate one of Annie's apples every afternoon. Perhaps you can say it in a sad voice. It was atrocious. Angelina Ant ate one of Annie's apples every afternoon. Or a surprised voice. It was atrocious. Angelina Ant ate one of Annie's apples every afternoon. How about an angry voice? It was atrocious. Angelina Ant ate one of Annie's apples every afternoon. And an excited voice. It was atrocious. Angelina Ant ate one of Annie's apples every afternoon. Or a laughing voice. It was atrocious. Angelina Ant ate one of Annie's apples every afternoon. I'm sure you can think of lots of different voices to say it in. You could also try saying it very slowly or very fast. How fast can you say it without making a mistake? It was atrocious. Angelina Ant ate one of Annie's apples every afternoon. Keep practicing. Just to remind you before I go, you have to write a big A at the beginning of a sentence, and for important things like a person's name. You could do a big A with your fingers. If you hold them up like that and put your thumbs across, that looks like a big A, doesn't it? To make a little A shape with your hand, you can just make a little round shape and then put a straight bit on the side, and that makes a little A. Do you see? I found some things around the house and in the garden, and they will make a little A shape. For example, if you might find something round like that, and if you just put something next to it, that sort of makes a little A shape. All right? Or this is something which is used to keep a bag, to tie up a bag to keep the food fresh. And if you put that on like that, or maybe that way up, that looks like an A shape, doesn't it? If I hold it from the top, perhaps it's easier to see. If we hold it like that, there we are, there's an A shape. Or you might just find something round and you could put a pen or something next to it. That's a sort of little A shape. Or I found a shell and I thought this looked like an A shape because it's round and it has a straight bit. So that's like a little A. How many big A's can can you see in our sentence? A for Angelina, A for apple. 1, 2. And how many little A's can you see? Have I spotted them all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you're not busy later, you could hunt for things which make an A shape or an A shape. I found some straws, and if you put them together like that, that makes a big A. And I found some pens, and if you put those together, you can make a big A. And I found some teaspoons, and those can make an A. I think you have to put the roundy bits a bit more together, perhaps. Oh, yes, there we are. There's an A. Or clothes pegs are good. Mind you don't pinch your fingers though. If you open carefully the top of a clothes peg, look, it looks like an A. Or you could put 3 clothes pegs together. And that looks like a, well, I'm going to have my lunch now, and I might even have an apple. Oh, I dropped it. But it won't be Annie's apples. I haven't taken one of Annie's. This is one of my own. Well, it's goodbye for now from Somerset Libraries. Thank you for joining in. Have an adventurous day. Keep practicing and have fun with Annie's apples, Angie Ant, and all your words. If you can make up something that's tricky to say with lots of sounds in it, please put a post on Facebook or email them to us. And this is our email address. Oh, I can find it. Here we are. It's minlib@somerset.gov.uk. minlib@somerset.gov.uk. And look, it's even got an A in it with a curly shape round it. All right. So please keep following us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and mention us to friends and family. Goodbye.